Hello, everyone, and welcome again to another Teacher Joseph podcast. Today, we're going to talk about the idiom, the second wind. Second wind. A second wind is when you get that new fire in your belly to complete a task. So imagine you've been working on something for a long time and you're tired. It takes a lot of effort. You can get your second wind when you don't expect it to get it finished. A second wind can come at any time. We sometimes say, I hope I get my second wind to complete the task. Many people who are tired and perhaps stay up all night say that they get their second wind around 3 or 4 a.m. It just means that next moment when you know you can continue for a time to get something done. It's basically a strength or energy that makes something possible to continue. I was tired at 3 a.m. because I had been up all night, but then I got my second wind to continue. At work, I was so tired, I was doing a really dull project, but then I got my second wind. Sometimes it can mean a fresh start. A dying company, for example, can say, I think we'll be okay now. We have our second wind and our profits are going up again. Some sports people might say it. For example, they could say, I've been playing football for 20 years and only now am I getting my second wind. It might mean my enthusiasm is coming back to finish it. Some people think of the second wind as something physical. For example, they might say, I hope I don't get a second wind, because if I do, I won't be able to sleep tonight. But in British English generally, a second wind is more about a state of mind. It's more about something that just comes to help you finish a task. It's something good, not something that would keep you awake, for example. That's the second wind. In teaching, especially if I have back-to-back classes, I get my second wind somewhere around 4 p.m. It comes and goes. Other days it might be a bit later. I don't drink coffee, so I rely on my second wind to keep me going. Your second wind with English might be coming soon, especially if you feel a little bit pulled down. You could say, I hope I get my second wind, but in English, the second wind is really a state of mind. In American English, they use it more as a physical thing. But if you're learning English, your second wind can come at any time. It's like that little voice that says, I want to continue. I know that I should rest, but I'm going to push myself until I get this finished. So, I want you to ask yourself today about your second wind, when it comes and when it goes. Let me tell you where this expression comes from, second wind. It comes from endurance sports. I'm sure you know that we get a lot of our words from sports. For example, to tackle a hard job at work. Tackle It's something rugby players do. I have a problem in my life. I don't know how to tackle it. That directly comes from sport. And so does second wind. You know, when there's a runner or someone who's maybe jogging, doing a marathon, road running, and they're kind of out of breath. They're kind of trying to get more breath. They talk about getting their second wind. That means it's when the breath comes back. They sometimes call it the runner's high, which is when your mind takes over and you kind of forget about your body. That is exactly what a second wind is. So it comes from sport. It's very interesting. So the second wind is used as a metaphor to talk about how we can continue. But as I've mentioned before, some people in America really use it in a more negative, physical way. Oh, I hope I don't get my second wind. It'll keep me awake tonight. So it's a little bit of a different meaning if we use it negatively, because it's more of a physical thing. I always use it when I'm tired. I think, I hope I get my second wind today. There we are, second wind. I hope you found this helpful. Let's talk again soon. See you. Bye.